You found it. It's The Real News with your host, David Knight.
Hey, welcome back to Real News. Having a real great time. I love being on InfoWars in a world where it's very hard to get the facts straight, but you can get them here on InfoWars. And remember, put your money where your heart is and support InfoWars, buy those products, stay healthy in mind and spirit, and their products will help you do that. And again, one of my favorites is Male Vitality. Whew, keeps me going when I get down a little bit. Anyway, hey, did you hear that one of the things that we said, talking about getting down and getting high, that Jeff Sessions over there, the Attorney General that Trump has questions about, remember he was coming out in the beginning of the administration saying, we got to get rid of that marijuana there because it's the next level is opiate addiction or something stupid like that. And we said, no, this is going to continue. The whole marijuana trend and medical marijuana, as I say, if the planet could feed you, could it heal you? And I believe it can. By the way, talking about China before, I think they believe it too. They've only been at it for centuries and millenniums. And I believe you're going to see more and more natural products for natural healing. Oh, by the way, that was the first book I worked on. Natural Healing, Warner Books, I think it was 87. I was a youth. Not quite, but a lot younger than that. So I believe in natural healing, and I believe the products of InfoWars. And I would also suggest that people looking for a career in the future do more and more about that and think about that. Because, you know, as baby boomers are getting older, and a lot of them aren't in good shape. You have in the United States, 70% of the people over 20 years old are either obese or overweight. So now you have a retiring generation that's not in good shape. Boomer business is going to be a big one. Longevity centers. Where do you go to get healthy and stay healthy? More health food, fast food. Or fast food, health food. You know, there's an article that was just in the Wall Street Journal. Big story. And you keep reading this all the time. Frozen food is hot right now. Traditional brands, freshened up, are finding new popularity among health-conscious shoppers. And I read the thing, you know, one of these big firms talking about healthy fast food. Healthy frozen food. It's almost an oxymoron. Or maybe you got to be a moron to believe it. Because when you're one of these giant firms mass producing this stuff, you think they're using the highest quality of everything? You think that frozen is as good as fresh? Go into any supermarket where most people shop. Now, only a tiny go to Whole Foods or Whole Paycheck or other health food stores. You look at the organic sector, what is it, about $50 billion in a $500 billion sector? It's small, but growing. But don't buy the hype, buy the health. And again, it all ties together. The products that you get from InfoWars can help you do that as well. And also, as an entrepreneur looking to grow the future, tie into what's going on with the boomers, because a lot of them are going to become inmates in nursing homes. And if you don't want to be, and you never did tell, anything could hit anybody at any time, particularly in a poison world. For the ones that don't want to, new products, new services, new way of looking at the future is very big business. And it's important to stay tuned to it for entrepreneur opportunities. You know, everybody, you know, these liberals, how they love and miss the Clintons and Obama. Hey, you like them GMOs, don't you, huh? Yeah, that was Bill Clinton. You like them ads on television when they go on and tell you how this is going to help you, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, ask your doctor because, you know, you may get cancer, have a heart attack, and, you know, everything else as a side effect. There's no allotropic drug on the market that cures a chronic degenerative disease. Period. Paragraph. More natural healing. More whole health healing. You can see the way they try to hype it. So, you know they're hyping it. Hop on board with something real, something new, and something healthy. It's a trend. You know, again, what I do each day is I got to go through all this news, international news, and I get delivered the newspapers because I underline salient points of stories. This is the Financial Times. I was just looking at it. And I go online, of course. I go to the Chinese. I go to Israeli. I go to Arab. I go to Fars, the Persian news agencies. I go around the world. I just want to hear what they're saying. I'll decide what I think is right and what's useful. But here's another example, and it ties into precisely what I was saying about the lies and the hype of the media on trade and tariff. ABB says U.S. tariffs put jobs at risk. Swiss Group's chief warns on Trump plans. Cites making power transformers singled out. The chief executive of Swiss engineering group, ABB, has warned that thousands of its jobs in the U.S. could be at risk if U.S. President Donald Trump pushes ahead with new tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. Again, Swiss Group's chief. They're not going to stop doing business. Tariffs won't stop it. There will be no trade war. It will be more business unusual. It's going to take a new turn. So everywhere you read, you hear the negatives. Why would anybody support the current system that has robbed us of millions and millions of jobs? That's almost 4 million manufacturing jobs just lost to China since they joined the World Trade Organization. I mentioned that luxury good items. Big business back again, growing like 20 percentile in China. So we need a readjustment. Now, also talking about China, if you're in business and you're an entrepreneur, it's a big country, 1.3 billion people. What are they making? What are they cooking? What are they eating? What are they selling that we don't know about? They can make a lot of money by bringing it over here. That's the kind of trade. That's the way to make business. Maybe they have baked goods and different kind of croissant that people will love, that you can open up your own shop doing. I mean, after all, when I was a kid, all I knew about was egg foo young and, you know, a couple of other things. Egg rolls, I forgot about that one. So get the Chinese mentality of what they're doing and bring some of that back here in product and redesign it for an American taste. And remember what also with the Chinese, they don't have the creativity gene that we have. they're locked into a mindset. And you could sell them a lot because they're looking for new ways too. And they don't have the jive, man. Boogie, not a drop in it. You know, that's their culture. Very tight. We got a lot going on here. So bring it on home and bring it back. So thank you very much for having me on. David Knight,